Radio English Online. Today we're going to be doing a video about Ielts vocabulary, okay? So all the kind of vocabulary you're going to need to get you through your Ielts listening, writing, reading especially, and parts of the exam like that. Alright, so the way it's going to work is on the screen there's going to be 3 words that come up, so you can test yourself and see if you know these words. Then a picture will be coming in, and then I'm going to be explaining it. Alright, so let's go for it. Alright, so straight in. So as you can see here, an allergy to, circulation, and an eating disorder. Yeah? So if you have an allergy to something, like this, a very common one, alright, you are allergic, okay? Your body does not like something. So there are some very common allergies, for example, being allergic to the pollen in the air, we call it hay fever. Some people, like myself, or I think I'm allergic to dust. If I do any cleaning, I start sneezing. That's my excuse to do no cleaning. But anyway, so other people have more serious allergies, like this one. I have a severe allergy to seafood. Alright, so some people can actually go into anaphylactic shock and possibly even die. Alright, so allergies are pretty serious things. Circulation. So circulation, circle, you know, round and round. And your circulation, as we can see from the picture here, your heart is at the center of it and the blood goes round and round. This is the circulation system, alright? So the blood pumps oxygenated away from the heart, and all the arteries and the veins bring it back again. Alright? So the heart circulates blood around the body. An eating disorder. So an eating disorder, any kind of disorder, is some kind of problem you have. Okay, a lot of the time it's just, you know, all in your head. It's a mental problem. For example, an eating disorder would be anorexia or bulimia, are very common ones. And here, as you can see in the picture, the person is actually very skinny, but when they look in the mirror they think that they're really fat. Alright, and that's what you call an eating disorder. So bulimia is an example of a disorder, you know, where you eat food and you bring it back up because you feel guilty for eating or something like that. Alright, to be immune to. Alright, so if you are immune to something, you are like this. Your body can fight whatever's coming, bacteria and viruses, so you're not affected by it. Our immune system helps us fight disease. An ailment. This is like from Old English. Doctors in the past would have said, yes, what ails you? Yeah, in other words, what are you suffering from? So an ailment is something like, you know, a cold or the flu. It's, yes, you're sick, but usually we would use it for something that's like not serious. Yeah, you're suffering from a minor kind of illness, like the common cold, for example, or maybe a sore back, although that can get pretty serious. Having said that, longevity, long. Alright, so you can see here this lady is living to a ripe old age, bless her, and that's what longevity means, long life. So you could say nowadays people have a longer longevity because of good medical treatments and all the things like this. Mortality rate. This is kind of like the opposite, more or less. So mortality rate, here you can see a picture of the globe pretty much, and the areas in green have a lower mortality rate than some of the other areas. Like you can see in Africa, it's red. That's where they have a high mortality rate. So where there's war, famine, drought, or disease, there's a high mortality, because mortality just means the number of deaths within a population. And you can target this, for example, child mortality is the number of children that unfortunately die. So now, types of medicine. 2 main types you'll see here: conventional medicine and alternative medicine. So conventional medicine is all the normal stuff. Conventional means normal. Alright, so this is the kind of medical care that you'll get if you go to the hospital or the doctor. Antibiotics and things like that. This is conventional medicine. Most hospitals have conventional medical treatments. However, there are people who like alternative medicine, and there's lots of different treatments. I'll give you some of them. And alternative medicine is usually based on plants or maybe smells, such as, like, I think reflexology, that's aromatherapy, sorry, or acupuncture with the needles, Alright, so some people, prefer that. And here we are. So acupuncture, aromatherapy, homeopathy are all examples of alternative treatments. To consult a doctor. Alright, so if you're feeling sick, you should consult a doctor. It means that you go and ask, or you go and see him. But usually if you call your doctor, they always tell you the same thing. I'm not Harry Potter, you're going to have to come and see me so I can do a proper diagnosis. Contagious disease. This is not a good thing, and it doesn't sound like a good thing, really, does it? A contagious disease, for example, the common cold. If you're in the supermarket and someone next to you goes and sneezes, maybe the next day you're because the common cold is very infectious, alright? So an infectious disease is a disease that spreads from one person to another very quickly, usually. Dehydration, hydro, it's all about water, alright? So as you can see in the picture here, this woman is actually rehydrating. She's drinking water. Dehydration is when we exercise or when we're sweating. Dehydration, we're losing water, alright? So it's very dangerous, and for example, if you're in the desert and you're not drinking water, you can die from it, because as you know, our bodies are about 70% water or something like that. When you don't drink enough water, you get dehydrated. Hygiene. Now this is very important, alright? So if you're a hygienic person, you wash your hands after you go to the toilet, or you shower every day, you use antibacterial soaps. Okay, so hygiene is basically just keeping yourself clean, and so that you don't smell, and make sure you're washing your hair and things like that. So it's good hygiene to wash your hands often. Life expectancy, fairly straightforward here. I think you might be able to guess this one, and here comes another map of the world. Again, it's very similar to the mortality rate. Life expectancy is how long you expect to live, and you can see from the map here that in most developed countries around the world, they're green. You can expect quite a long life. Unfortunately in Africa, there's some harsh conditions there, so the life expectancy is somewhat lower. How long a person is expected to live. A vaccination, so this helps, alright? So vaccinations are very common, especially with young children, as you can see here, poor little thing, and poor doctor, because that kid is gonna scream. Woo yeah! So a vaccination is when they give you an injection, but it's to protect you against a disease. So maybe it won't stop you getting it, but if you do get it, you won't get it as bad as you would, or as seriously as you would. Or nowadays, I think there are probably vaccinations that actually protect you. Game over. Yeah, we are often vaccinated to help fight disease. A remedy, alright, so a remedy, pills, things like this. So you could have an alternative remedy, and a remedy, as you can see in the picture, is pretty much just a cure. Alright, so I'm trying a herbal remedy to get rid of my cold. Stitches. If you have a look at that picture, oh yeah, you've sliced your finger, okay, and they get a needle, and they literally sew you up. Alright, and these are stitches. So I cut my finger and have to get stitches. A bruise, very common words, these ones. So if you fall down the stairs or even fall over on the road, the chances are you'll get something that looks like this. Ouch. Sore for about 2 weeks at least, alright? This is a bruise, yeah? All the blood vessels under your skin burst, and all the blood comes to the surface of the skin. Lovely jubbly. Alright? I have a really bad bruise on my arm. Your posture. Alright, so this is an unusual one. A lot of you won't know this, as you can see from the picture. Your posture is basically your body's position, okay? Like especially when you stand, you should have a certain posture. And when you sit, you should have a certain posture. Like for example, if you're sitting with your shoulders forward, it's very bad for this bone in your back, your spine, alright? And you will have problems. So your posture is very important. So if you have bad posture, it'll often give you back problems. A dose of medicine, very common as well. So nowadays, especially if you're taking strong medicine, you have to look at the dose. It'll tell you on the back of the packet how many pills to take or what measurement. I have to take a 10 ml dose of this medicine every 8 hours. And to alleviate pain. So to alleviate pain means to make the pain go away or to lessen the pain. And as we all know, painkillers are probably the best way to do this. Depon, paracetamol, whatever you call it. Probably the most common form of medication we use. I took a painkiller to alleviate my pain. And also if you have back pain, they give you these gels, you know, these deep heat gels that you can rub on your back or something like this, which will help with the pain. Okay, so guys, that was the first Ielts vocab video. I hope it's been useful. If there are any topics out there, get in touch. Message me and I'll make you an Ielts video on whatever vocab you want. But there will be lots more coming out about the environment, about business, about urban life, whatever you want. They're coming, so stay tuned. Bye for now.